"You're not even a real soldier. You're just a toy with a hat," the boy sneered, his voice cutting through the respectful silence like a knife. Gasps erupted from the small crowd gathered at the tomb of the unknown soldier, a place meant for solemn remembrance. Cameras lowered. A woman clutched her chest, but the boy, around 15, cocky, rich kid energy radiating off him, wasn't done. He strutted in front of the ceremonial guard, sticking out his tongue just inches from the soldier's emotionless face. "Bet you're not allowed to move, huh? You're just a statue with a pulse." Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The guard stood motionless, rifle at his side, eyes locked forward like granite, trained, unshakable, decorated in a pristine uniform under the blazing sun. He didn't flinch, blink, or react. But the energy in the air had shifted. It wasn't just disrespect, it was desecration. A mother stepped forward, whispering, "Someone stop him. This isn't funny. That man's guarding heroes." But the boy's father, a tall, smug man in a designer suit and sunglasses, chuckled. "Let him have fun. It's just a show. These guys get paid to pretend." Then suddenly, steel met thunder. The guard slammed his rifle into position, spun with precise force, and stepped forward, his boot hitting the stone with military wrath. His voice erupted, powerful and cold. "Stand back from the sentinel. This is sacred ground." The kid jumped back, stumbling over his own feet. The crowd gasped again, this time louder, and phones started recording. And just like that, the boy's arrogance cracked. For the first time, his grin vanished. The soldier's discipline was unbreakable, but now he had drawn a line. One step closer, and this would no longer be ceremonial. The boy looked to his dad, but the man didn't speak. His smirk was gone too. Half the crowd stared in disgust, the other half in awe. A young veteran in a wheelchair nearby saluted silently, tears in his eyes. Then, a voice broke through the stillness. "He doesn't understand what that man stands for." It came from an older woman, frail, grey-haired, with a wrinkled photograph in her hands. People turned to look. She stepped forward, gently holding a black and white picture of a young man in uniform. "That's my brother," she said, voice trembling but steady. "He never came home from the war. His body was never found. That tomb is for him." The crowd fell silent. She turned to the boy. "That soldier you mocked? He stands so others don't have to. He's guarding more than just stone. He's guarding sacrifice." The boy looked down, shame slowly creeping over his face. And then, the soldier stepped back into position. Silence returned. The sun bore down, but this time the boy wasn't laughing. His shoulders dropped. He turned to the old woman. I didn't know. I thought it was just for show." She didn't yell. She just handed him the photo. He stared at the young man in the picture, bright eyes, sharp jawline, hope in his smile. Not much older than him. A name scribbled on the back in fading ink. Private David M. Carter, 1944. Then something changed. The boy walked back to the soldier, this time slowly, humbly. He stood at the rope line, feet together, and saluted. Stiff, awkward, but sincere. The crowd watched in stillness. No one dared speak. And the guard. For a split second, just a flicker, his eyes shifted, barely noticeable, but filled with something unspoken. Respect. Acknowledgement. Then back to the stillness of duty. The father placed his hand on the boy's shoulder, quieter than he'd been all day. "We owe him an apology," he said, eyes fixed on the tomb. And that's when the crowd, as if in silent agreement, began to clap, not loudly, but solemnly. A ripple of honor. One by one, strangers united by reverence. A teacher, a biker, a mother with her child, a veteran in a cap. Applause that wasn't for entertainment, it was for remembrance. The boy handed the photo back to the woman, tears now forming. "I'm sorry, for everything." She nodded. "Just remember him." And with that, they walked away, heads lower, hearts heavier, but changed. Some places aren't meant for jokes. Some uniforms aren't costumes, and some silences speak louder than words. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.